What is up everyone, it's TK and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can use the Noble Iron with the Minion Prince charge and the recall spell combined with the E-Dragon. So we're going to dive in and see how this strategy work out in Legends League. So without any further ado, let's go. Here we are on the first base, and I'm actually first going to show you this approach in war attacks because that's where I kind of noticed, wow, this strategy is actually quite strong. So what you need to do is to go with a flame flinger on one of the air defenses, which is more kind of, I would say, easier to get access to. And you can see once you deploy the flame flinger, we're gonna go in with the Minion Prince. Now guys, this specific attack, I had the Minion Prince on the wrong pet. The main pet of the Minion Prince should be the Angry Jelly, because that is what's gonna force the Minion Prince ability into the defenses. Now here you're gonna see something weird because Warden is supposed to follow your heroes, right? Why is he not following the Minion Prince? I have no idea. But look at this recall spell, because I was like, hold on, how do I get them both? And look at that recall. What a risky one. Now you can see the Flame Flinger making a nice funnel on the right side. This will give us an easy path into the Town Hall. All that matters is your spell deployment. Queen with the Giant Arrow going to take down that sweeper. Now we're going to go in with the recall of the heroes back into the action. You always want to drop the RC and pop her ability instantly around the queen area so she doesn't die, and she's the one to finish the base most of the time. So Warden ability going into this base with a rage spell. Now once we are kind of closer to the town hall, I'm gonna double rage in the area where the super dragons, or sorry, the electro dragons will end up going to. Minion Prince ability to freeze the backend air defense and scatter shot. We can see everything is coming together in this core. Now this is where even if every single dragon of you dies, you still got Queen and RC moving through the top side, which you have Giant, Headhunter and a Wallbreaker to go and keep them alive and moving towards the back end. This is how the strategy works. Your Electro Dragons aren't the ones to have like 6 of them in the back end. It's just not how Clash of Clans works. Even with the Root Rider approaches, sometimes it's your Queen, RC, or a P.E.K.K.A. from your Siege Barracks to finish the base off. And I would say sometimes, but it's actually most of the times, unless you're really crushing the base, which in this case we actually do have 2 Electro Dragons, nearly full HP on the back end, and Queen and Royal Champion. So absolutely crushing this base. And next up, we're going to dive into Legends League with proper pets onto the Minion Prince and the Royal Champion, because I like to send my RC into damage, and with the Phoenix on the RC, you can probably do that. So up next we have the Legends League layouts and the core Rage Tower with an invisibility tower on the monolith. So you can see this air defense is so much more easier to reach than the other one, because of course there's a ground expo, and if you get the Flame Flinger on the top side, it means you have to go from the lower side with the E-Dragons, which doesn't really kind of end up being good, you know. So yeah, going to tank for this mortar with a few archers and barbarians. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do with the giants later on, I hope so, but the giant is mainly for when you have, for example, the same area you want to drop your flame flinger, but there is an archer tower on the outside or a wizard tower. You can tank, first drop the giants and immediately go with the flame flinger. They will take down that building. Now notice this beauty. The Minion Prince is so strong, and that's level 78, but of course the iron is maxed. But he took down the monolith before that invisibility tower goes active. So now we have only 3 spells, and you're getting 2 major defense, a spell tower, and guys, the Town Hall. You wouldn't be able to do that with your Royal Champion charge. It's just not how it works. But this Minion Prince charge is crazy, how you can give and kind of basically get such a good value. Now always deploy them a bit later, and you can see Minion Prince going a bit forward is gonna be bad. So here, yeah, his ability is gonna go off really badly. I went with the Queen with the Giant Arrow. You can see again with the RC on the same side to try to keep the Queen alive, going with that Warden ability, and of course the freezes in the core. We have a rage spell. Notice guys, all that matters is this core. You need to invest everything you got so you can get through it, and the back end the Queen can reach. Everything on this back end the queen is able to reach, unless of course the RC doesn't get certain defenses a bit deeper. But we have the Phoenix. This is why they are both such a good combination, because if something is left up, if a hero is left up, an air hero, she can just come back to life and even grab you that hero and absolutely crush that base. But you can see we again got two Electro Dragons and the queen on the back end. This is how you finish these bases off. All it matters is a good Flame Flinger on one of the air defenses, Minion Prince the other side of it when you know your Flame Flinger is safe, and then spam the dragons in a line to get through these bases. Now guys, I really want to bring you something that is interesting. Like, of course, the Electro Dragons have not been used that much, and I think this army can actually bring it back, and especially those who loved the Electro Dragons currently have nothing else to attack with. So, up next we have a double poison, spitters directly into the core, a very toxic clan castle placement, and a core town hall. We're not gonna blimp this. No, don't you worry. We're never gonna blimp this. Now, we are gonna get a very juicy flame flinger value on this top side. Always test for the Teslas and then go with the flame flinger, of course. And you can see 4 air expos. Guys, this base is designed to defend dragons, but we're gonna crush it really hardcore. Now we're gonna go in with the Minion Prince. Of course, I dropped it a bit to the right so he can take down these buildings, move to the right, and then move back to the left into this core to try to get a few defenses out of the way so you can make the perfect funnel for our dragons. Just watch out for Seeking Air Mines. The moment you see maybe 2 of them popping up, if your Minion Prince is level 90, he will survive. If it's lower than that, 2 of those Seeking Air Mines can actually activate your Minion Prince ability. Now notice, we have the clan castle, which I believe was a witch, because what is these skellies? Because they just didn't come out of nowhere, right? Yes, I think the clan castle is a witch, but yes, where is the witch? Oh, the owl actually killed the witch. Interesting, owl. But we have a baby dragon in case you need to kind of kill those skellies off. We did get a nice value with the flame flinger, so I'm not gonna really bother with that. Now we're gonna go in with the electro dragons, going with the recall heroes, and now it's about your queen. I wanted to get these air defenses and also the sweeper. You can see how I'm going to manage the RC with that queen on the top side to try to narrow this base down and keep my queen alive. Now notice this double rage warden ability. Boom! We're gonna go in into this core of the base with all that we got. Now I do have free spells, of course, for the monolith or single target buildings or an air defense in case they are really annoying. But notice this, I'm raging and freezing again for that one electro dragons. I know there were 2, but it's 1 now, and you can see we got the certain value. I just wanted to hope we would chain the king and get the back end air defense, but guess what? We got 5 electro dragons on the top side. Actually, is it 6? No, it's 5 with a regular dragon. That, you know, I actually have a regular dragon and that's electro dragon in the flame flinger. We do still got the Minion Prince, Warden, and Queen. This is why I have a headhunter, of course, in the back, and you can see it works really nice if there is an enemy king, for example. And guys, this is absolutely wrecked, even though the base is literally designed to defend this dragon with a very toxic CC and toxic expo air placement. It's insane how it works. Up next, we have a core town hall, double poison again, but it's a bit more designed as in, so you kind of skip the town hall. Like, if you see the electro dragon chain, you actually might get a bit unlucky as you chain through certain defenses and they might stay up, so then the dragons will just boom skip the town hall. So how you want to approach these bases is really interesting. Okay, we're gonna go in with tanking for that mortar. I'm not actually going to take out an air defense in this attack because the air defenses were placed in a way that if I want to take out the air defense, it means the path to the base for the electro dragons is not narrowed. So I chose to go with a pathing flame flinger on this attack, and notice we're gonna go in with this Minion Prince walk on the top side. We actually pull the Seeking Air Mine, and you can see I'm running this account with this strategy because I wanted to show you it doesn't matter if you don't have a maxed Minion Prince. Like, this is the whole idea of this strategy. Everyone can use it, and if you have your king upgrading, of course it's good, even better for you. But Of course, if you have the minion prince upgrading, it's not really your strategy. But I'm looking at a nice giant arrow placement, which is going to be on the spell factory on the 3 o'clock, going with double sweeper takedown, and then we're going to dive in with the electro dragons. Notice I'm waiting slightly with the recall, because if you drop it too early, your minion prince will just dive into the base if the jelly is not actually finished. A lower level jelly will actually help you out in this strategy, to be honest. But notice, I'm having one electro dragon on the lower side, if you can see it. Notice how many spells I just dropped on the one electro dragon. I fully left the core. Notice these free spells. We left the core, pop the minion prince on the town hall, always on these bases. I'm going to be able to rage this exact electro dragon again, going with one more free spell. Look at the chain we're getting. This is where experience comes in handy. I'm not the best Electro Dragon attacker, and I know there's a lot of people out there, maybe some of you who are watching this maybe attack better than me with the Electro Dragons, because it's about experience, how you can see that damage. And notice, if you alive, like keep this one Electro Dragon alive, he can gut the entire backend. Something like an Inferno, Air Minion Prince, that air defense, a toxic ricochet cannon that can help you get through the back end if you have only the queen alive. Like, this is where things get interesting with the electro dragons. All you need is the perfect spell placement, and sometimes even if you don't do that, you will still crush the bases just like this with 4 electro dragon alive. This is insane to see. Alright, next up we have a very interesting kind of core town hall base, and of course I'm showing you all of these styles because they are the meta, and I cannot honestly show you like a double rage or something, or like a double invisibility. They're just not in Legends League currently in the high legends. But how you want to approach this base is also similar type of approach, but the air defenses are too deep. What the hell are these air defenses? Now, the mortar is going to lock on, and this is where I actually want to give you this tip, which I didn't listen beforehand, because obviously if there's a mortar on the outside and there's nowhere you can actually tank it, there's expos and archer towers around it, just take it down with 2 loons. Why not? Now we have the flame flinger moving towards the top side. I know it's safe, so we're gonna go in with the minion prince on that wizard tower. Notice this minion prince is gonna be amazing value. Okay, he's gonna go in, and now you can see the moment he's going into that base, if he was RC, maybe she would have come out, but the minion prince has such a good range with the noble iron, and also the way it targets everything. Now notice I have the recall. If there's a trap, I recalled him back. You can see, always have the recall in your hand once you drop 1 invisibility. Even if it's your last or first, doesn't matter. Have the recall in case of that air mines. Queen with the giant arrow taking down that sweeper. Maybe I could have dropped the queen a bit to the right, as you can see here, and dropped that giant arrow into 2 air defenses and the sweeper. That would be insane value, but back then I didn't actually see it in the attack. Now, on this attack, you're going to see it comes a bit closer to finish. Because I have a bit better and basically worst spell placement than my last attack. Going with a super early warden ability, even though the damage is in the core and we didn't have damage at the start. Going with those rages really quickly and handy, but I wanted to freeze, but I did drop a rage accidentally. Now you can see I wanted to keep the queen and RC alive, and it's going a bit weird now because the back end damage is a lot. That's why I told you to keep the warden ability most of the times when you are moving into the core, not when you're just starting to reach that first layer of the core. So it's just better to keep the warden ability for a bit longer. And as I said, you have things to actually keep your queen alive. There is going to be attacks where your queen is the one to finish the base off, and you need to be ready for that. Keep 1 rage spell or a free spell if you have to, and if you see your dragons are dying too early, don't invest too much anymore. Keep the RC or the queen alive. Now you can see we got Wallbreaker, Giants, and of course Headhunters, as I said, for the back end in case there is a hero. You can always get through it, and the time is usually not a problem. If you start your flame finger around that, like if you kind of start your attack around the 2-minute marker, the Electro Dragons are fast. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this strategy. The link of it will be down below in the description, and let me know what else you want to see on the channel. See you soon later. Take care. Peace.